Welcome back to the Travelling Tonka YouTube channel. For this video I'll be showing you the Ras Mohammed and Tiran Islands boat cruises, with the main part of the trip on both of these is the beautiful snorkelling. I'll go through the details on both of the different tours as we get to them, but as you can see this is just the beautiful drive down to the Sharm Sheikh marina where we pick up the first boat. So just sit back for a few minutes and enjoy the scenery, take it in, have a look what it's like on the outskirts of the hotels in the area. So this first tour is to the Ras Mohammed area, and this was booked with Sun Tours Egypt. We actually booked it through Viator, but I'll put the direct link to the company at the end so you can choose whether to go through the other companies or direct to the people that we booked it through. On this trip, as you can see now, we're just pulling out of the beautiful marina. Look at the crystal clear water. We're heading out to the first part of the Ras Mohammed Reserve area. Just to let you know at the very beginning, we were supposed to visit the White Island as well, but as we got further out around the Ras Mohammed Reserve, the water was too rough for them to carry on, so they told us that we wouldn't be able to do that part of it, but we will make 3 different snorkeling stops around the reserve instead, which we're all happy to do. Now the price of the trip that we paid for this was £10 per person. You get to go on this lovely boat, you get dinner included in this as well as the snorkeling stops. I think for a trip that takes all day and you get to be out in the sun, out on the water, that is unbelievable value. This also includes hotel drop off and pick up in this as well, so that's even better. Just one thing to note about this particular tour is that although we booked snorkeling only trip, they do diving experiences as well, which you can book beforehand, and they also let you pay for it on the boat. And to be fair, it's not that expensive to do it, we just didn't fancy it. The other thing that you might want to take into consideration, if you do not have your own snorkeling gear, you will need to hire that out. You need to pay for that as well. If you want life jackets, you can hire that out. We didn't need it. The water wasn't that rough, so it was fine to just use, swim on your own. I'll leave you just to enjoy the views as we pull out and cruise along to the first destination where we will do some snorkeling. at the first stop for snorkeling, and as you can see, the water is beautiful. It's so clear underneath. You get to see all the different corals in and around and get to swim amongst all the fish. I'll just leave you to watch it. I recorded a lot, so you can just take it in as you want to see it. On looking back, I have recorded all of the 3 different stops all in one, so if you think that they're not different, they are. These are pictures and videos from all of the different places we stopped. I mean, it all looks quite similar, but you can get an idea of what we were looking at whilst we were down there. Just one thing to note, that the tour operators, they have a specific snorkeling guide that takes you around on all this, so you don't just swim off on your own. You can't get lost, you can't get swept away or anything like that. There's a guy that goes around with a ring that you can hold on to if you're not such a strong swimmer, so it's all very safe, and they're constantly checking to make sure you're still with the group and there at all times. So here we are on the next day and the tour to Tiran Island, and although everything is pretty similar set up to the other tour we'd done, this one was a little bit more expensive. I think it was £15 per person. I think that is mainly because it has to go further. But all in all, everything that I said about the first tour applies to this one. For example, you get picked up, dropped off, you get the dinner included in it. They offer the diving as well, so, and the same if you need to hire the equipment, so it's all exactly the same as the other tour. As with the other tour, this one was also booked on Viator, but it is through the company megatoursegypt.com. Again, the link will be at the very end of the video for you, and you can choose whether you book direct with them or through any of the other partners. So I'll just leave you there to enjoy the journey out to the Tiran Island area, and then I'll pick you back up when we get there. So this is the first stop and the furthest point that we went on the Tiran Island cruise. In the distance, you can actually see a shipwreck. It was from an old Russian ship that must have bottomed out around there, I think from about 80 years ago, but you can't quite see it on here so clearly, but it looked quite fascinating when you was there in person. Just one thing to note about Tiran Island, it is actually part of Saudi Arabia, so we couldn't actually go onto it, but we was in and around it. So this is what you're seeing here, and as you're about to see very shortly, this was probably the best snorkeling spot on any of the tours that we'd done. It was just beautiful down there. Once again, I'll play out the snorkeling footage that I took, as there was quite a fair bit of it, but you'll see how pretty the corals are, and actually there was a lot more fish down here as well, so enjoy this little snippet. again, I was looking through my footage again, and I seem to have probably got all the stops put in again together. After this bit, we did stop twice more, but you can get the gist of what the tour was like and where the snorkeling spots were. So thank you for watching this again. I hope you enjoyed all the underwater footage, and I look forward to seeing you back on the channel once again. And remember, at the end of the video, the links to both the tours are there should you need them. Thank you very much. See you soon.